Good morning, Carlos. Welcome to Zoom.
Good morning, Ramona. It's so good to hear you again.
Well, we're glad to have you. Um, I wanted to talk to you about your life story. You've had a very interesting life, and I just read your book. Tell me the name of the book,
Running Dreams.
Running Dreams. And if people wanted to get it, they would look where?
They can get it through Amazon. And for those who are blind and don't want to pay for it, they can get it on Bard.
Yes, that's how I got it. Okay, okay. So your name is Carlos Servan. Do you want to spell it?
Servan is S-E-R-V like Victor A-N.
Right. And first name is, I guess everybody knows how to spell Carlos, Carlos.
That's right.
I wouldn't guarantee everybody knows how to spell it. Um,
Yeah.
anyway, I thought it was a great book. So
Thank you.
tell, tell me about your childhood in Peru.
Well, back day when I was growing up, we have a military dictatorship. So the economy was very bad, inflation all the time, political violence, political instability. We were poor, economically speaking, but rich in family values. So we always have food on the table, not necessarily meat or beef, but we were close to the ocean, so we got plenty of fish, which was inexpensive. We have always our errands to do at home as kids according to our age. My dad was a very strict man. He became orphan when he was 6 years old. So in his mind, he wanted us to be independent, and he didn't want people to feel sorry for us in case the same thing happened to us, meaning becoming orphans.
And how
And
many kids were there in your family?
in the beginning, we were six, and then came two more, so we were eight siblings
Altogether.
altogether. Yeah,
And you were one of the older ones,
the fourth one.
the fourth one. Okay.
Yeah, right
The
in the
middle,
middle. The
the
middle.
middle
Yeah.
kid.
Yeah. So I always got old clothes from my brother. Eh, it was very seldom that I could get new clothing, but I was always happy. My dad, from since we were little, will tell us, as long as you carry your clothes clean and with pride, you don't need to worry about if it's new or not. It's all in my mind. Yeah, that was what I thought.
So
My
he taught you that it was normal to be the way you were.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and my mother more was the values, being honest, working hard. There is nothing wrong about being poor. He used to tell us.
sure, that makes sense.
Yep.
Okay, so when you when did you start um, working and taking other training other than the school that everybody goes to?
Well, if I understand your question correctly, I started my first job was when I was 7 years old, helping the
Okay.
milkmen to distribute the milk around the neighborhood.
Uh-huh.
I didn't handle the money. I just go and run to the houses and deliver the milk.
Sure.
And afterwards, pick up the empty bottles because they recycle them. So that was my job. It was fun. 7 years.
But you moved on to other jobs as you grew older.
Yeah. Then the next one was, I think I was maybe 10 years old the first time we were able to get a refrigerator at home. So we make popsicles and went to the beach to sell them. It was hard. It was hard. It was hard because we were thirsty, hot, and we had to discipline ourselves not to eat the popsicles. Because otherwise you kill the whole purpose of
Sure.
making some money. Yeah, but it had
Okay.
built some endurance, and I think after all, I did it because I wanted to learn, and I was always motivated to do something. But my parents will always tell us, you don't have to work when you're that young because you have food and a roof at home. But we want you to have the experience. And
Yeah,
what I learned there was that how about those kids who don't have food? Eh,
sure.
that was what I learned back then. So at
And
least
you
I
were
know
you were
I,
going to school at that time as well, right?
I was going to school, yeah. So I did that on the weekends only, yeah.
Sure. And so, when did you graduate? Did you have secondary school? Does that compare to this country?
Yeah, in Peru we have up to 11th grade, but we just call it primary and secondary. So there is no middle school.
Okay. And so you finished the second grade, the 11th grade in public school, right?
Public school, correct.
Uh-huh. And then what after you graduated?
Then I got training to, first of all, I wanted to get into the army, the officer school, but I wasn't able to get in there. Then I got into the officer schools for the detective academy, a 4 year training.
Uh-huh. And so you were accepted into that when you were what, 16,
17
17?
years old. Yeah.
Okay. And how much training did you take there?
Almost 4 years.
Almost the whole training.
Yeah.
Okay. And then that was interrupted.
That was interrupted in my last year when a grenade exploded in my right hand,
Oh, it was in your hand?
in my
Yeah.
hand. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and so that did some damage, right?
Well, yeah, blew out my whole hand and damaged my eyesight, so I became blind. Of course, I tried to get my sight back and so forth, but
Well, you had to get some medical work done.
correct.
Did you spent quite a while doing that?
Yes, well, my mom worked very hard on getting me to the US because in Peru we didn't have enough medical attention or equipment for that level of surgery. So we came, the Peruvian government had a agreement with the Johns Hopkins Hospital in Baltimore. So the first time I came in 1986, got a surgery. My right eye was gone, they told me. So they tried to save the left eye. They said the surgery was a success. Went back to Peru, was able to see some light and shadows and a little color, mainly red and light perception.
What about your hand? Did they deal with your hand in Peru, or did you come to this country for that too?
No, came to this country for that also, but they gave me only a prosthetic hand and a hook.
And did that work? Were you able to use it much?
The prosthetic hand, it was mainly cosmetic. It, to me, was a waste of money and effort. But the hook was helpful.
The hook was helpful.
Yep, yep.
And do you still use it some?
Some, yeah, mainly when I'm trying to use a hammer, on a nail, when I'm doing work on the
Oh, I
car,
see.
things like that. Yeah.
Okay. So you didn't spend very much time in the hospitals in Peru healing up from this accident.
The first time was a whole month.
Yeah,
A whole
I
month.
wouldn't.
I was in
Yes.
a whole
Yeah,
month in the hospital.
yeah, that's a pretty serious injury. I would expect that it took a while.
Yeah,
Um,
my stomach outside was damaged, burned, and with wounds. My
yes.
whole hand was gone. So yeah, it
Yeah,
was
so
tough.
so you had other things to be treated from. Now you had friends your age in Peru before you left, right?
Yes.
And brothers. Okay. Um, had you met Kathy when you were before you left Peru?
Before I left Peru the second time, but when I had my accident, no.
Yeah, you had. Yeah. Okay. So when you came to Johns Hopkins the first time, they did. They worked on your eyes and they worked on your hand, and then you went back to Peru to
Correct.
to heal.
To
And what did
heal, to get better, but my eye got worse.
okay. Um,
Yeah.
and so then, what were you doing in Peru at the time?
Well, it took the rest of that year to realize that I wasn't going to get my eyesight back. So eventually, after a year of my accident in 1987, I went to get some training in a small rehab center in Peru. The training was from 8 to noon only, no, not room and board.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
And
The
did you find
food,
it helpful?
it was helpful to me mainly because it showed me how to use the cane back then. It was a short cane, but still I was able to walk by myself, not accompany anymore.
And that's mostly what they did. Did they um, give you some other skills, or had you already dealt with that with your
Well,
family?
they showed me some braille. They showed me. I already knew how to cook. They were showing me how to do it without vision, but
And
they
with and,
they
and with
didn't
just
have
one
the
hand,
yeah
isn't
with
it?
one hand. And again, they didn't have high expectations. They said, no, you can't do this, you can't do that, but maybe just this or just that. And I, of course, thought they are the experts, so I believed them.
Yeah, that's not unusual.
Yeah.
Okay, so then, um, how did you manage to come back to this country?
Well, then uh, I finished my training trying to get a job, couldn't get a job, and I was already in America. And people told me there are some opportunities for the blind in America.
Right,
So the more I tried in Peru, the more obstacles I found. The more blend I became about, yeah, but I could work. I just need a chance. The more blend
right.
I became telling me, no, blind people can't do this. And so I eventually said, okay, it looks like my only chance will be America. So I worked hard on coming to America. And before that, when I was making that decision, that's when I met Kathy.
I see. Yeah, and you had to work at getting that trip funded, right?
Well, yeah, because uh, we were from a poor country, I had no job. So the Peruvian government also helped me. I had to go to the Ministry of Interior, all the paperwork, and last a whole year to be able to get it approved.
Do all the paperwork, and then when you got here, you did you go back to Johns Hopkins?
Back to John Hopkins because the Peruvian government had the agreement with them.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
And then you met people in the Catholic Church at Johns Hopkins?
Yes. After the doctors told me there is nothing we can do, which wasn't a surprise to me, but I was in America and that was my goal.
Of course, that's the first goal, if you can. And
Yeah.
so then it was a priest who helped you make contact with blind people in this country, right?
Well, actually, it was a nun.
Okay.
The nun, Sister Mary, is the one who was running the apostolate, and she looked at the yellow pages and found the National Federation of the Blind.
Uh-huh.
As I was learning English at that church, the priest, he was a retired priest. That's when I met him.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
But then and then one of them went with you to the NFB headquarters, is that right?
No, actually, when I went to the NFB headquarters, the nun sent a volunteer person
Uh-huh.
to help me for translation.
And so you just showed up there?
I just showed up there thinking that I could stay there, room and board,
Oh,
help for the blind,
and who did you meet?
I met, well, my first impression was there, the receptionist.
Right.
And I didn't know she was blind because I didn't know blind people could be receptionists. And I was pretending to be, sorry for myself. And anyhow, and then she picked her cane and went to call Mrs. Mauer.
Uh-huh.
Mrs.
So
Mauer came out, and she's the one who orchestrated things for me, asking Eileen Rivera Lee, who is another NFP member, speaks Spanish.
so what did it's Patty Maurer, Mrs. Maurer. What did she say to you before she called Eileen?
I had no idea.
Oh, you don't remember. I,
Well,
I
what I mean is I didn't know English, but the translation, what I remember was, what do you want? I want,
sure.
and then she said, well, let me see if we can help you. She was
So
very, very firm and nice.
so that's why she called Eileen, because she knew Spanish, right?
because Eileen knew Spanish, right?
Right, right. And then you got together with Eileen. Uh,
Correct. And what I remember is Mrs. Mauer telling Eileen, at least that was the translation. Please see what we can do for this young man.
right.
Yeah.
Um, so, and was it Eileen then that recommended you go to New Mexico?
Well, Eileen, what she did was back then talk to some leaders. And originally, I think the idea was maybe Louisiana, the Louisiana Center for the Blind. But then,
Louisiana. Uh-huh.
yeah, but then also they say, well, maybe New Mexico will be better because I don't speak English. And the thought was that in New Mexico, almost everybody spoke Spanish. And
Sure. At least a lot more people than Louisiana.
yeah, yeah,
Right, right.
right.
Yeah. I guess I had the impression that Mrs. Mauer thought that pretty early on, but um, Eileen would have been helpful because she's from Puerto Rico.
That's right. Yeah.
Um, so did you stay in this country um, and go immediately to New Mexico?
Yes. After that, the NFB tried to help me or started to help me with the connections. I started to come to chapter meetings. And because I met the priest there, he was interested on helping me to be my sponsor. So then he also went to the headquarters.
To NFB headquarters.
Correct. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Just
And
yep.
so how long was it before you got to New Mexico?
Well, I came the first week of April and I went to New Mexico the first week of June. So that's 3 months, kind of.
6 weeks or
Almost 3 months.
almost 3 months? Okay. Uh, okay. So what happened in New Mexico?
Well, I learned that not everybody spoke Spanish.
But some people did.
Yeah, Joe Cordova did. And in New Mexico, it was exciting because everybody that I met started to talk about the importance of training
Uh-huh.
and to learn English. So I started to take Braille lessons with Chris Boone. She was working there back then.
Uh-huh.
I came travel with Doug Boone, who was working there too.
So
To
this was in Albuquerque, right?
That was still in Albuquerque, right? Just the
Uh-huh.
first few weeks,
Uh-huh.
and then learning English, basic English. Eh,
Uh-huh.
and then first week of July was the convention in Denver, Colorado, my first national convention.
Uh-huh.
Eh,
And
and
and you
after
went.
that, go ahead.
You went to that convention?
Yes.
And did you meet a lot of people there?
Yeah, a lot of people. It was fun because eh, I never saw blind people being in charge that much back then. And it was
Yeah.
fun to see them going to the bars, talking like with confidence. And just that made me excited.
Did
And
they have
then,
translations at that time? Translators?
no, no translation, no,
No, not at the time. So,
not at the time. But I keep asking, who is that guy? Oh, he's so and so. Is he blind? Oh, yeah, he's blind. And the president is blind? Yeah. And is the one who running the whole convention blind? Everybody's blind. And I thought, wow.
well, a
I,
lot of people, anyway.
yeah, yeah. Well,
So,
coming from another country and not being exposed to that, to me, that just being in that gave me a lot of energy and hope. I said, that's what I want for me.
well, good.
Yeah.
So after the convention, then did you go back to Albuquerque?
Went back to Albuquerque for a few days, and then Alamogordo, the New Mexico Center for the Blind, was ready for me.
Okay. And they said, come on down, huh?
Yep, we have a space for you. Richard Davis was the director of the center.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
And they had some people who spoke Spanish, or were you getting your English in shape? That's
no, I
pretty
was
fast.
learning some English, but then nobody spoke Spanish at the center.
Nobody spoke Spanish at El Magordo. Yeah,
No, well, the cook did. The cook did. So,
the
uh,
cook did. You
yeah,
see.
so I didn't start.
So you learned English by immersion, I guess.
Yep, yep.
Well, they say that works.
It worked. Well, but I was learning some English in Baltimore, and I did some English in Albuquerque.
Sure.
So I had the basis, the to be verb, enough to start conversations, but not enough to get lectures or instructions on things. But
Right.
I was so determined that I keep asking questions. Okay, how do you say this? What is this? Like if I hold a fork, how do you
Uh-huh.
spell it?
Well,
And,
that's the best
and,
way.
yeah, and then I will write it in Braille and I will practice that every day. And next day, ready for the next new 10 or 20 new words.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. So how long did you stay at the center in Alamogordo?
5.5 months.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I finished the first week of January of 1990.
Okay. And then what did you do in January?
Well, then I moved back to Albuquerque to learn more English because the only way I could stay in America was by getting a student visa. And to have a student visa, I needed to be accepted into a college or university. And to be accepted into a university, I needed to pass the English test for foreign students. So my focus was that just study English and of course trying to find a sponsor back then. Yeah, Joe Cordova, who used to work for the Commission for the Blind and was the president of the New Mexico NFB affiliate, helped me to find a low-income apartment or studio. So that was the
Uh-huh.
first time I lived by myself, which was cool.
And then you learned enough English to go to college. When did you start to college?
August of 1990.
Okay, so that the next fall. And
Correct.
what did you study in college?
Political science. My,
Okay.
my undergrad was political science,
And you got a 4-year degree?
4-year degree. Yep.
Uh-huh. And then did you go to law school after that?
Yeah, after that, I applied for law school. So in 1997, I graduated in 3 years, actually. I did my
Oh,
bachelor's in three
okay.
years. So uh, got into law school and then also got into a dual degree with master's in public administration
And did you do that in Albuquerque also?
in Albuquerque, yep, the University of New Mexico.
Okay. Okay, so after you got your law degree and your master's, then what kind of work were you looking for?
Well, I was looking for working for rehab. One of the reasons why I did my master's in public administration was because I wanted to work for the government, and but I also enjoyed studying law, but I didn't want to necessarily spend my life being a lawyer. So, but I did both. So I was looking some kind of government work, and realized that my passion was on serving people. If my
Uh-huh.
mission was to serve people in Peru to protect society, well, I realized, yeah, that's my passion. And in the blind, I realized it's everything there. You do ADA, which has to do with the law, civil rights has to do with law, administration. So I decided to work in an agency for the blind for both reasons, because I could put in practice my uh, experience, my formal training, but also because it was the only place that gave me a work contract. Because
Oh,
then I needed to find a work contract
yes, to stay here.
to stay here. Yeah. So eventually Nebraska gave me that. But while I was going to college, I needed to support myself, and I was working for the Commission for the Blind in New Mexico as a itinerary teacher, then running the transition program. So
Oh,
that's
you were running the transition program for kids right out of high school?
in New Mexico, correct?
Yes.
While
Uh-huh.
while they were in high school.
Sure. And
Yeah.
you were in college.
And I was in college. Yeah.
Yeah, so you had to earn at least part of your cost to go to college.
Correct.
Yeah. And so then when did Kathy come to this country?
She came in 1991.
Okay, so you that was a fairly serious relationship before you left Peru.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah, okay. And then so she was here all the time during college while you were in college.
After a year, yeah.
Yeah.
I started college in 1990. She came the year later.
So you were pretty definite that you wanted to stay here permanently.
I was, but I
Uh-huh.
was also mindful that how about if I couldn't? I wanted to, but there was a chance that I maybe couldn't.
So did Kathy have the same problem about staying?
Yeah, because she was under my visa.
Right. But
Yeah.
she had to get her own visa, right?
No, because she had my visa, meaning, well, her own visa, but under mine. I have a J1, then she had a J2.
Okay, because you were married.
Correct.
Got it. All right.
Yeah,
And
I
then,
went I went back to Peru to get married, and then she joined me.
sure.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, so what kind of work did you do in Nebraska?
When I came first, I was the deputy director for the Nebraska, back then was Services for the Visually Impaired
Uh-huh. So you started right out in an administrative position in Nebraska.
in Nebraska, yeah, because I already had 7 years of experience in New Mexico.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. And a graduate degree.
Yep.
Okay. So um all this time you're feeling better and better about blindness?
Oh, yeah. I feel very comfortable, good. Met my best friends who were blind, mentors like you, leaders. Eh,
You
So,
met a lot of people.
a lot of people, yeah, yeah.
Well, and you got a scholarship from the National Federation of the Blind too, didn't you?
Oh, yeah, that was one of my best, happiest experience in my life.
Yeah,
1992, Charlotte.
in 92 in Charlotte. Okay, at the convention.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So you were impressing people as you went.
I didn't realize I was impressing people, but now, then I realized I was being impressed by people for sure, but I didn't
But,
realize I was impressing people. Yeah.
well, we old timers in the Federation are always looking for new people that have potential and are conscientious and so forth. So, so what would you like to say about your experience in Nebraska?
Well, in Nebraska, I'm going to be very honest. One of the things people told me from New Mexico was, "Why are you going to Nebraska? They are full of white people. You are going to be
Oh,
like a fly in a glass of milk," they told me. So I came here a little skeptical, but I felt welcome here. People here were very good, good work ethics, hardworking people. Uh, the blindness field, the philosophy was good, but because I've had experience in New Mexico, I was able to bring some of that experience and that lessons that I learned from Joe Cordova and Fred Schroeder beyond the training at the center.
well, I suppose you know that um, Hispanics in the southern part of the United States do run into some misunderstandings and discrimination. And so um, the northern part of the country, there are much fewer Hispanics. And so I suppose there would have been some thinking that way, but I'm glad you didn't experience that.
No, I didn't. I didn't. I did some here and there, but not at work.
Not at work. Oh,
Not at work. No.
not a lot. But um, well, you you have four children, right?
Yes,
And they were born while you're in college or after you
correct.
came to Nebraska? Okay.
While I was in college, yep.
Uh-huh. And did you did you have any problems with raising kids and getting them into schools and so forth?
Not really. No.
Not really. Well, that's good.
Yep. Yep.
Um, so they've gone to public school mostly in Nebraska and um, got degrees and grown up.
Yep. They're all grown with degrees. Yep.
No grandchildren yet?
I have five grandchildren.
Oh my gosh.
The
Well, they're
oldest,
a lot of fun.
the oldest is 6 years old. He's in Denver. They're in
Oh,
Denver.
so your kids have moved around.
Yep. Yep. Two in Colorado, one in
Uh-huh.
Minnesota, and one in New Jersey.
Uh-huh. Well, that means your kids are finding things to do too.
They are all busy. Yep.
Well, I think your book is a lot of fun to read and it's informative. I think you've had a tough life, but you don't seem to dwell on that too much. So, um,
No, I think yeah, it was tough, but being faced to toughness gave me energy to be innovative, to be alert.
uh-huh.
Yep.
Well, it helps to have energy, that's for sure. Um, and I know you had to work very hard, um, especially at first while you're learning English, and the fact that you were able to hold down a job and go to college is impressive, you know.
Yeah, it was very hard, but it was
Yeah,
worth it.
lots of long hours. Well, good. And you had to be determined.
You have to, yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like to share?
Well, for those who are listening, just to keep in mind that things can look very tough, but not impossible. Uh, Things are easier now for the blind in the sense that there is more technology, there are more jobs for the blind. Many blind people got jobs that I didn't think about before, and that's exciting.
We keep working on it.
Yep.
Well,
And
and
we have to keep working on that. Yep.
what I heard you say the most on the way through is I just kept asking questions.
Yep.
So don't be shy, don't be timid, is what I heard you say.
Exactly. Yes, ask. And what I realized was teachers like to be asked questions. And
Yes,
people
it's
like to teach, and that was part of the joy too.
if they're in teaching, they better like it.
Exactly. Exactly. Yep.
That can be a lot of satisfaction. Yes.
Yes.
Well,
Yep.
I appreciate your talking with me today, and it'll probably be a month or so, but we'll put this on the Idaho's Blind YouTube channel. Do you have anything
Okay.
else to offer that I should have asked and didn't?
Not really. There is a lot on different areas, but I think, or I hope I cover what you needed.
Okay, great. We'll get some pictures and put them up separately as shorts. Thank
Okay.
you very much.
Thank you.
Don't
I'll
go
hang on
away.
there for a while. Bye.
Okay. Should we call back Jordan
Or what?
to um, get
I'm
the
still here just in case.
to get?
We cannot do the shorts via Zoom.
Oh,
You're gonna have to do that separately.
okay. We're gonna pause a minute here. Um, okay. I just want to make sure we can cut it there. Jordan says we won't be able to do the shorts on Zoom.
Okay.
So I don't. If you can do it, probably ought to be a little longer than 10 seconds. Actually, 10 seconds can work, but I think if you explain what you're doing and why, I think that's better. So a minute demonstration is enough, but if you could, do you think you can get somebody to take the picture?
Picture or film?
Video.
Video.
Video. Yeah,
Yeah.
my daughter just left, but she's going to be back later on in the afternoon, and she said she can do that for me.
Okay. And if you can do one of you using the keyboard one-handed, which I think would be good.
Yes.
She should get your face and your hands, but both at once or one at a time. You can decide which is easier for her to do. It should be a portrait. If she does it with the phone, you should take it in portrait position.
Okay.
Okay, tell her that because Zoom doesn't like landscape.
Okay, portrait
Okay.
rather than
But I think the cane travel one is the most interesting. People will find that fascinating. They like demonstrations of cane travel, and you can carry either coffee or a briefcase in your left hand if you're using the cane with your right.
yeah, a plate also. A
Yeah, and
tray of
if I were
food.
you, I wouldn't hesitate to say that it's harder work to do that. You know, I'm I'm happy to use the cane in my left hand most of the time, or put it in your
Yeah,
words. But
yeah, I
but
prefer
in a
to use
pinch
my
you
left
can't.
hand to navigate. I
Yeah,
just do it when I have to.
when you yeah. And
Yeah,
so I would say that because I think that will make sense to people, and
exactly.
it might be clear from watching too.
Yeah,
Okay, now the best way to send it is not plain email because it used to be, and I think it still is true, that email doesn't send as good a picture. There's something called wetransfer.com, and you can download it onto your phone or your computer. But I'm thinking you're going to want to take these with a phone.
with transfer.com. Okay.
And so if you download it into your phone, um, then you can send it to my email, which you have now. It's wellhofframona@gmail.com.
Yep, yep.
Yeah. And then I'll just get it into my phone. I won't worry about the computer.
Okay.
Okay. But if you can do that, that would be wonderful. I think people will love seeing it. I think they'll enjoy the interview. So we appreciate it.
Well, thank you for thinking about me.
Well, thank you for writing the
And,
book.
and thanks for being a wonderful mentor.
Oh, well, you've had probably mentors that worked with you more than I have, but
You,
I've
you,
certainly
you
been, I've
you were
certainly
one
been,
of the toughest.
oh, what? Well, I've certainly been watching, hearing you on.
No, but you were wonderful, yeah. You still
Thank,
are. Still are, yep.
thank, oh, I'm getting old. I'm cutting back.
Yeah, but I hope when I'm your age, I'm still as active as you are.
Yeah, you're not thinking about retiring, are you?
No, not yet, but I can sense that I don't have the same energy than I used to have.
Well, I understand that, but you've still got a lot.
Still,
All
yeah,
right.
another 10 years, hopefully.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Alt F4, leave meeting button.
You do.